So, hi again everybody, I'm back. Today I thought I'd do my favourite videos vlog. This turned out to be much harder than it should have been. Firstly because I've got a lot of favourite books. Secondly because I'm currently moving. So I've got books here and books there and books here, literally spread about over 5 houses. So these are just the ones I've got with me where I currently am. In some places I've made some little changes just to show you sort of what I'm talking about, but not the actual book that I'm talking about, which I know is going to be really helpful people. But if you miss anything and you think something I said sounds interesting, I don't actually have it with me, just give me a comment and I'll give you all the information and send you to like a link about it or something. So I'm going to start with my really big books. I do have bigger, but these are just the big ones I've got with me. This is The Vintage Tea Party by Angel Adori. It's a lovely book. It's all about 50s tea parties. It's not a book that you're generally going to read. It's more like, oh, I fancy making some strawberry iced tea. Oh, let's go to the vintage tea party because that'll have a recipe for how to do that, I'm sure. Yeah, it's full of all these really amazing recipes, but also just basically how to throw like really good dinner parties. It's got loads and loads of like really cool pictures. It shows you how to do pair 50s, how to make table settings. It does show you how to make table settings with real butterflies, which kind of freaks me out. But maybe not do that. But it's also got loads of tea recipes in, and I love tea, so it's just amazing. It's a really good book. Yeah, I have read it. Everything that's not a recipe, cover to cover. So I guess that kind of counts. Okay, this is my favourite book, potentially, of all time. This is The Asylum for Wayward Victorian Girls. Sorry, it's got a really shiny cover. By Emily Autumn, who is my favourite musician, idol, everything, basically. And this book is half autobiographical and half made up what was going on in her own head while she was in a mental asylum. So it's full of all of her diary entries that have been, the pages have been printed and from her handwritten ones. It's full of like lovely pictures. It's a really good one. So half of it's set in a mental institute, and half of it is set in Victorian London, which is lovely. And look, it's even signed. Look how I got it signed. So happy. My favourite page in this book is probably actually the first one. It's just insanely pretty. There's some amazing pictures of her in there. And just, I'm just going to read you literally the opening to the book because it blew me away. Prepare myself because we all know how badly this went in the last video. Perfume was created to mask the stench of foul and offensive odours. Spice and bold flavouring were created to mask the taste of putrid and rotting meat. What, then, was music created for? Was it to drown out the voices of others or the voices within ourselves? I think I knew. It's an amazing book. Really good to check out. It can be quite harrowing. There's a cutting diary, a drug diary, and a suicide diary in there, which are literally just photocopied in from what she wrote earlier. They can be quite distressing to read, especially if you've ever been in a place like that. Really helpful if you have been in a place like that, but not so much if you are currently still in a place like that. So if you are, don't read it. If you aren't, give it a go. It's amazing. It's really good. Definitely worth the 70 quid I spent on it. Really good. Just amazing. Okay, so next, this is The Man Who Lives with Wolves by Shauna Ellis. I don't generally read biographies, but I made an exception for this one because I basically watched him on the telly, and he was really. I think it was called. Oh, there you go. It says it on the cover. Living with the Wolfman is what the TV series is called. And basically, this man has given up his life to live with wolves, to do research on them, to help them, basically. And there's something very respectful in doing that. Probably, which is one of my reasons why this is my favourite book, just how he talks about them. He's literally given up everything, and this book is about why he did that. how he's done that, where he's gone all over the world to try and find out what he can to stop people killing them and getting the wrong impression about them and just getting rid of this big bad wolf myth that's around. So yeah, a really, really good book, especially if you're into like your animals. Okay, this is not one of my favourite books. This is one of those substitutes I was talking about. This is Horns by Joe Hill. Really, really good book. But my favourite book is actually the one that came before this, which is A Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill, which I don't have here with me. It's a lot smaller than this, but it was an amazing book. Basically, about a guy who buys a heart-shaped box on eBay, and there's a ghost in it. Sounds like it's going to be really teeny and just really like depressing, but it's really good. It's not kiddie at all. It basically, this ghost then goes on to destroy his life. Really, there's one scene that's always stuck with me. It was that good, and I will always come back to it when anyone says like, "What do you remember from this book?" Where the ghost has possessed his girlfriend, and he walks into the room, and she's watching. Sorry, this might be a bit grotesque for some people. She's watching a snuff movie on the telly, masturbating with a pistol in her mouth, and basically there's nothing more said about it, but it was a very like distressing but very it's stuck in your head sort of scene. You could literally, probably didn't want to picture it, but you could literally picture it in front of you. Just amazing. So yeah, that was Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill. Just an amazing, amazing book. These two don't follow on from each other, but they've got very similar veins. They're exactly the same genre, written in exactly the same style. Just preferred Heart-Shaped Box. Okay, so next is one I read this year. This is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Second Neil Gaiman book I've ever read. The first one was Stardust. Sorry, I don't know why it took me so long to get into the Neil Gaiman side of things. I should have done it a long time ago because this was just absolutely superb. It was just such an amazing book. Basically, it's about this guy called Richard Mayhew, and he finds a girl bleeding to death on the street, and he lives a really normal life until he meets her, and then he goes with her into the underground. It's not called the underground, but basically there's a world under London where the people have fallen through the cracks who've been forgotten, and they all live under London, basically, where there's loads of really like dark creatures, and it's not just people. There's like I can't even remember, that's how bad it is, but there's like actual beasts and stuff. It was just a really, really good book. Descriptively, I've never met anyone who quite writes as well as Neil Gaiman. But also his characters were really good. All the bad guys, like Islington, Van der Meer, they were all amazingly written, and there was some good character development for everybody else in there, all the good guys as well. It was a really, really good book. If you want to get into Neil Gaiman but don't know if you're going to like him, I'd probably go with Neverwhere as a first book. It's set in London. I don't know if I said that already. I think I did when I said underneath London. Yeah. So it's set in London, and there's a lot of humour in there if you know London at all. Like there's Earl's Court Tube Station. In the book, Earl's Court Tube Station, there's actually a train that's got an Earl on it, and he has his own little court in the thing. So basically, every tube station is a real thing. Like Blackfriars Station is actually a place where monks live. So it's an amusing read as well. It's just a general lovely one. I'm talking way too fast. I need to take a breath. Take a breath. Okay. This next one will probably always be one of my favourite books, and I've got about 4 copies of it. 2 of them are with me. The rest of them are away somewhere. This is Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne, illustrated by E.H. Hubbard. This is a really nice book. It's amazingly illustrated. Obviously, as they all are, because they're all illustrated by the same guy. It's got some lovely, lovely pictures of it. Just generally a really, really good read. Actually, there's some quite adult bits in it, considering it's a child's book. And I think if I read this as a child, would I have understood that? Probably not. But very humorous, just lovely. You fall in love with the characters all over again if you read it for a while. The other edition I've got with me at the moment is Pooh Bear's Box. This is really cute, all 4 in 1. So you've got Winnie the Pooh, The House at Pooh Corner, Now We're Six, and When We Were Young in here. I bought these for 50p, can you believe it, from a charity shop. They are really worn, like some of the pages are coming out, but that sort of makes me love it even more. You can tell it's been loved and read. They're still illustrated, just not in colour, but they're something really cute, and I love to think that somebody has just loved these as much as I will. So now I've got to get these back in the box. Bear with me a second. Oh God. Okay, we'll just put that to the side and I'll do that later. It shouldn't be that difficult, but it is. Okay, another one this one's actually from my childhood. And I'm going to take a shot here and say that these were the books that got me into reading, properly into reading. I've lost the covers. I had them at 10 and I've lost the covers to them, which is really bad, I know. But this is Ink Heart by Cornelia Funk. Amazing. I literally cannot describe how good it was when I was a kid. I used to sleep with this book under my pillow. I don't know if you could see the damage on the cover. That is because I read it literally cover to cover, probably about 10 times in a row. Slept with it under my pillow. I took it everywhere with me. That's my little signature when I was like 10 in there. Just so good. So good. There was 3 books in this series. Ink Heart, Ink Spell, which I've also lost the cover to. Ink Death, I was clever and I got it with the cover printed on it. So this one's still really pretty. So yeah, my favourite one out of the 3 was definitely Ink Spell, but I have a special place in my heart for Ink Heart because that was just the first one and it was the one that got me reading properly. So basically about, in a nutshell, they're about a girl who lives with her father, their mother's gone missing. And basically they go on like these crazy adventures. Her dad works with books. He is a binder. She discovers through some I've read them so long ago. I read them. She discovers through some means that he can, when he reads things from books aloud, they come to life. But something is always replaced and sent back into a book. So if he's reading Peter Pan can come out, but their dog might vanish into the book and is then stuck in Peter Pan land. So this was amazing, but this one's set entirely in the real world, and the next 2 are set in the land of the Ink World, which is a book written by an author that they all end up going into. So yeah, I've just never read anything I like it. So even as an adult now, I love them. I loved them when I was 10. I love them now when I was 21. So amazing. This is another really recent one. I think I bought it completely last year. This is A Touch of Power by Maria V. Snyder, who is quickly becoming one of my favourite authors. She wrote the Poison Study series and I don't know, Sea Glass, Spyglass, those ones. I've forgotten what the actual series is called. I read all of those. I loved them so much. And this is sort of like a spin-off, I guess, is the only way you could describe it. It's a really good book. It's basically all of them. No, it doesn't say. Sorry, it might say at the back, but it doesn't. Yeah, so this is about a girl called Avery, who has the power of healing, but basically she's living in a world where she's forbidden to use magic, and if she's found, she'll get killed. But she's got to go and try and save a prince. So it's quite cool because it's like anti-feminism, and she's the hero of the book and is trying to go and save all the men. They're not automatically bad guys, all the men. Really, really good book. If you like Maria V. Snyder, sorry, my video died again because I don't have space on my laptop because I've got too much crap on there. So yeah, really, really good. If you like Maria V. Snyder and enjoyed the Poison series or the other one, really good. Next one. This is a series of books, but my favourite is the one in the middle. So I'll show you the first one anyway. This is Graceland by Kirsten Cayshaw. It was her debut novel, I believe. Really good, amazing. I'm just going to read you the back because I can't be bothered to try and explain it in my own words, because as you can probably tell, I'm a bit shit as well. Okay, so in a world where people born with an exceptional skill known as grace are both feared and exploited, Ketsa carries the burden of skill. Even she despises the grace of killing. As a grace killer who has been able to kill a man with her bare hands from the age of 8, she's forced to work as the king's thug, feared by the court and shunned by those her own age. The darkness of her grace casts a heavy shadow over Ketsa's life. Yeah, so basically she works with this king who sends her off on a mission-y thing, if I remember correctly. But she decides she doesn't want to kill people because she's not a terrible person. She ends up finding a guy, they fall in love. General story, but it was really good. I know I'm not explaining it very well, but definitely look it up because it was really good. I'm only quickly skimming through this one so I can talk longer about the second one, which is the actual favourite, the one I'm here to talk to you about. So this is Fire. I love it so much. It's amazing. The cover is just adorable, but it's such a good book. It is such a good book. This is written before what happens in Graceling, so this is like a prologue type book. Oh my god, there are no words for how good it is. This is set in a slightly different world. It's like a hidden world within the Graceling world, and there are these things called monsters. It sounds like there's pterodactyls and stuff in here, but basically when you have animals, you also have monster animals. Which are really brightly coloured, and they attract people to them because they're so pretty. They can get into your head, and then they end up killing you, which is lovely. And this is about a monster girl, whose name is Fire because she's got bright red hair, and that's her like monster trait. She's obviously wanted dead because she can get into people's minds. She's a really powerful ally to have, or a really powerful enemy to have. So she sort of has to go on a mission to protect her people, even though they don't want her to, they don't like her. But this just yes. There are no words, it's just that good. Okay, I promise you, it's just that good. And as this is her like debut series, I'm utterly flabbergasted. The third one in the series is Bitter Blue. This one's quite a chunk heftier. This is written but 10 years after Graceling, so it goes like this, even though it's actually like this. Okay, so it's like this. And this was good, not as good as the others, if I'm totally honest. I don't know why, but her writing style sort of changed, and we've gone kiddie for some reason. Really kid style writing. It just came across to me as really. I don't know, because you've got a lot of the same characters that were in Racing in here, appearing up, popping up all over the place. But it just wasn't the same. It is a really pretty edition. I don't know quite why I got this one in hardback. I think it was because I was too impatient to wait for it. But yeah, definitely. If you don't get to Bitter Blue, that's fine. But definitely read this. Read it. Okay, this isn't order. Read it. Okay, so yeah, that's probably like a good 25 minutes out of your life. But those are all the favourite books I've got with me. I'll probably do another one, as I said, when I'm in a different house with all my different books. Maybe with a much nicer backdrop than this hideous wall we've got going on behind us. I've decided I'm going to leave my bookshelf tour thing until we've actually moved out. So by the end of April, we should have a really, really lush library to look around if my plans go ahead, which they will because I'm dead set on it happening. Okay, so yeah, I don't know when I'll next post or what it'll be about. I'm gonna have to think of something exciting, I guess. But yeah, so I will see you shortly.